In today's video, I'm going to be talking about how to develop rapport with your interviewing counterparts quickly on the job interview for product manager roles. So understanding what rapport is, essentially speaking, it's that good feeling where I get good vibes from you, like I can kind of see this person working here. And a lot of people that are even like companies hire product managers all the time that are underqualified, but they can train up. You have learned skills in your job, even if you're not a product manager, that you didn't know before. And I think it's safe to say, in a volatile market, as volatile as it is right now, people are learning all kinds of skills that they never thought they really had to take on. And they're doing it because that is what the market requires of them. So skills you can always go ahead and train up. Of course, there's some underlying foundational skills you must have to be able to get this job. But overall, you could have all the skills in the world. If they don't like you, they're not going to hire you. And unfortunately, product management is one of those roles where they absolutely have to like you. So how do you develop rapport with them quickly? By differentiating yourself from the very get-go. This is what I train about in my program in depth. First things first is they're going to ask you a few questions like, why do you want to go ahead and work here? What's like, why our company over other companies? Because they don't just want to take over any other rando. The fact is, the truthful answer that you want to scream off the top of your lungs, and I can totally understand why, because you're probably over interviewing, is why do I want to work? Why do I want to work here? I need a freaking job. I haven't been working for a while. I've always wanted to be a product manager. They say I got to start somewhere. Why not here? Hopefully you're the last time I'm going to have to answer that question. I mean, that's honestly the case. I can't imagine so many people are like, yeah, I just love dog walking so much that when I saw an app that said all I have to do is just build, like, I work on an application that helps out dog walkers, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a dream come true. But that's kind of what they want to hear. So you got to brainwash yourself to saying these things, even if you don't believe in it. But the thing that you can go out there and do to establish rapport very quickly on a product manager interview that's going to differentiate yourself from the very get-go, and closing happens in the beginning. Closing doesn't happen in the end. Closing happens actually in the beginning, is actually researching some very recent news about the company that you're interviewing with. If you're going to go ahead and look up, one of the biggest mistakes that people make on the product manager, one of the biggest mistakes that people make on the product manager role is actually like, oh yeah, I want to work here because I saw your mission statement. Most mission statements were written when the website was built. Like somebody told me, like, I love the mission of Product Gym. I was like, I think I cranked that thing out on my iPhone back in 2016 while I was lying on my bed scrolling off of like Instagram one night. I didn't even remember we had a mission statement. If you were to come and throw a gun in my head right now and say, what's the Product Gym mission statement? You own Product Gym, right? I would tell you might as well just pull the trigger right now because I honestly don't know. So you want to go ahead and actually recycle, like it, you want to make it seem like you're following this company for a little bit, right? That they're special. You're not out there just throwing your weight around, sending your resume around to every open rec, even though you are. I know. Nobody goes on a job hunt unless they have to. So the truth is, you totally are, but it never makes anybody feel good. Like that's just like going on a dating app and say like, so, why'd you decide to come out on a date with me? Honestly speaking, I was swiping on like more than like 1,000, 2,000 people that night, having half a bottle of wine. And then when you responded, along with like, I think about like a 23% conversion ratio. I didn't even remember who you were. And then I sent out a bunch of dating requests, and then boom, you were the one person that said you can meet up on Wednesday night. So that's like nobody wants to hear that. It's like, yeah, I really like the fact that you're from the West Coast and I'm from the West Coast too. That's what they want to hear. So look up things that are recent about them. Look up their Instagram. Look up things about them on Google News. Look up things about them on their social media. If they've just announced that they've got funding, anything, it's like, why do you want to work here? Why wouldn't I want to work here? Oh my gosh, I've been following you guys for a while. I'm such a big fan of your mission. And most recently of all, I'm very interested in this space, so I can't say like I know everything about you guys, but most recently you guys just secured Series C. You guys just appointed a new COO, who I'm also a very big fan of. Whatever it is, if you give out some recent news, it's good. If they don't have any recent news, probably not a place you want to go ahead and work at. The second thing that you want to go ahead and do and establish rapport is actually go on their LinkedIn and actually add them on LinkedIn. A lot of times people know who it is that they're going to be interviewing with. And I find it crazy that people don't go out there and connect with these people. And they're like, oh, don't you think it's creepy? No, it's actually creepy when I have an interview with somebody like Jane, and I see like, Jane viewed your profile, and I'm interviewing Jane tomorrow, and Jane did not connect with me. That's actually weird. If you go out there and view the profile, and you absolutely should know who it is that you're getting ready to talk to, send them an interview request. Invite request, and say, hey, I'm interviewing with you tomorrow. Super pumped up to be speaking to you tomorrow at 2 o'clock to see how it is that I can help the team out. Definitely, like right then and there, you can actually go out there and establish rapport because you're being different about them, and then you can start a conversation. There's nothing that says that you can't interact with the interviewer before you go on the interview. In fact, that's actually going to go ahead and break the ice a little bit, right? The third thing that you can go ahead and do after you send them the invite is the most amount of information that you can collect on anybody that you're interviewing with publicly is going to be on LinkedIn. Take a look at all of the things that they have actually like. What are the posts that they're liking? What kind of posts are they putting out there on LinkedIn? What are they sharing? Are they like doing any type of talks? Right now, everybody is trying to build a personal brand, and product managers are no different. You can see them. They're on YouTube and TikTok. So any type of side project, if they have like a newsletter or anything, right? These are all things that can give you a tremendous leg up over somebody that has more experience than you. Timing is very important. It's really hard to compete against people that have more experience, but if I like somebody more than another person, I will go ahead and hire that other person because skills I can go ahead and train up. Granted, you have to have some basic foundational skills that paint you as a value add, but still, you still need some skills out there. They still gotta like you. There's been more than 278,000 people that's gotten laid off since the tech layoffs started, and just like I think with the past like 12 months, there's been like 278,000 plus people. There's a lot of qualified people on the street that can't get a job, but yet people in my program are getting into the best companies at the best salary rates possible because like at the end of the day, people hire people. People are going to be working with people. Doesn't really matter if you have this particular domain experience. If the higher ups come in and send a Slack message tomorrow and says we're going in a different direction, and we are working in a time where the direction of the product is changing constantly, and you're working on multiple projects at the same time, your domain experience gets thrown out the door. Whatever it is that you think, whatever value you think you're going to bring into the table because you have whatever experience, if they're not working on that anymore, then you're no longer valuable. You're irrelevant. And that's when you get in the friend zone. You don't have an offer letter, yet you don't have a rejection letter, but what are you going to do? You can't eat off of staying on the bench. So you have to go ahead and focus more on the individual. So product manager job hunting is a lot like dating. It's about the vibes that you're giving off, and schedule the call. We can help you get the job. I can't help you if I appreciate all the YouTube support that people give us, but I can't help you unless you're part of our main program. Really just get you this job already so you can go ahead and move on with your the next chapter of your life. I mean, you can try to keep on doing this on your own, but it's most likely it's not working out. Call us.